And what we'll do is from today, we'll try to start Unit 2. Unit 2 consists of input-output organization, input-output interface, I/O bus, interface modules, I/O versus memory bus, isolated versus memory mapped I/O, asynchronous data transfer, stroke control, handshaking, programmed I/O, interrupt I/O, DMA, direct memory access, IOP, CPU, IOP communication, Intel 8089 IOP. This is our Unit 2, and this Unit 2 is available from, I think, this is our Morris Mono book, which we have shared with you. And Unit 2 begins from somewhere here. Page number 381 of Morris Mono book, which has peripheral devices, ASCII characters, input-output interface, asynchronous data transfer, in that you have strobe, handshaking, modes of transfer, in that you have programmed I/O, interrupt I/O. Then you have direct memory access, then you have IOP. So basically this is our Unit 2, which starts from 380 Morris Mono and ends at 442. So by any chance, Shirisha madam told you when the course will start, that EduSkill wala? From when the course will start? Yeah?
From tomorrow.
From tomorrow or from Wednesday? Acha, from Wednesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, good, good. So I think you all have registered also. You all have registered also. So this is basically your Unit 2. I want to keep it a light session today, in view of there is a huge gap between when we conducted the session previously. I think the gap is nearly a month. So we are starting this. Today's session will be discussing Unit 2, input-output organizations, input-output interface. So basically we'll be discussing with the monitors, the printers, the magnetic tapes, magnetic discs. So all these you pretty well know that these are all the input-output devices. These are all the input-output devices, and all these devices are also called as the peripheral devices. All these devices are also called as the peripheral devices. And the computer system, if they are online single connected devices, they are all called as the central devices. Like a CPU is a central device, and all these other devices like printers or monitor or a hard disk or CD or magnetic tape, these are all called as the peripheral devices, or they are also called as the input-output devices. These are the external devices of the computer. These are the external devices of the computer. Say, for example, there is a keyboard, is it not? So, what is the purpose of a keyboard? So, a keyboard will be used to provide input to the computer, is it not? And whenever I press a key, if I press a key, I know that key is ASCII coded. That key is ASCII coded, is it not? But what is the speed of a keyboard? The speed of a keyboard depending on the person who is operating the keyboard. Suppose my speed is only, let us say, 20 or 15. Somebody's speed is 40 or 50, but still there is a limitation. the speed at which input is given and the speed at which the CPU processes the data, if you make a comparison, there is a very large difference between these two speeds. There is a very large difference between these two speeds. It is like tomorrow I start running with the world's best runner. Okay, so it will be like that. So that much is the difference between these two. Okay. uh, and coming to keyboard you categorize it as an input device. You categorize it as an device. You have various types of keyboards, like you have a QWERTY keyboard, or you have a Dvorak keyboard, or there are many other variations of keyboard. Many ergonomic keyboards are also coming. So next is your screen, next is your monitor, is it not? There are various types of monitors. We are saying you have CRT, then you have LCD, then you have LED. You compare that with the TV screen or the monitor of a laptop or the monitor of a desktop. So you have various kinds of technologies. Say for example, cathode ray tube, how it functions. There will be electronic gun, so it will be emitting some light. So all that will be part of your cathode functioning. So as far as this cathode ray tube monitor is concerned, the monitor is either single character mode or a block character mode. What is the meaning of this single character mode or a block character mode? Single character mode means online everything will be transferred on the screen. While in the block mode, suppose there are 10 characters to be printed on the screen, all those 10 characters will be uh, copied into a temporary memory, and from that temporary memory they will go to the screen. From that temporary memory they will go to the screen. Now coming to printers, there are many printers you might not have seen also, which we had seen when we were young. For example, there is a daisy wheel printer, there is a dot matrix printer. Laser printers you have seen, but there is an inkjet printer, there are plotters, there are many types of these output devices, is it not? So we had used this dot matrix and to some extent daisy wheel. Then we use inkjet, then we use laser. Now everybody is using laser, is it not? So next is magnetic tape. So this magnetic tape basically is a storage device. It's a storage device, but it's a legacy device, very old device. So you had long tapes, and those on those tapes data was stored. The data access is this was the cheapest, slowest form of data storage. Your magnetic tape. This was the cheapest and the slowest form of storage as far as magnetic tapes are concerned. So this is legacy in the sense when initially computers were designed, initially their commercialization was being exploited. Big companies like IBM's, they use these magnetic tapes to store the data. For example, office payroll data or other data, banking data. Even now, many of the older firms, say for example, my daughter is working on a American bank project, and that American bank project still uses COBOL, which is a very old software which we had learned initially. Then they are still using they may be still using the magnetic tapes, as they might have be having a lot of legacy data which is there, but that has to be transferred into new forms and so on and so forth. So then you have magnetic disk. Magnetic disk you are pretty aware of. Say for example, if I ask you which hard disk you use in your laptop, what will be your answer? General answer. Which hard disk you use? Which are the popular hard disks according to you? Okay, this online sessions has created a new challenge. I was just asking you, హార్డ్ డిస్క్ మీ దగ్గర ల్యాప్టాప్ ఉంటే మీ ఇంట్లో, ఆ ల్యాప్టాప్లో కానీ మీ కంప్యూటర్లో కానీ ఏ హార్డ్ డిస్క్ జనరలీ వాడతారు? ఏ కంపెనీ హార్డ్ డిస్క్ ఫేమస్ ఉంది? ఏదో ఒక కంపెనీ పేరు చెప్పండి, లేదా హార్డ్ డిస్క్ పేరు చెప్పండి, కెపాసిటీ చెప్పండి. Somebody was to, yeah. Lakshmi Aparna has told Toshiba. Okay, great. So the most popular ones are the Seagate hard disk or the SATA hard disk, which we use. Hard disk we pretty well know. Perfect. Lakshmi Aparna has also told that Seagate are also very popular. Fantastic, fantastic. So we know their capacities also. Like usually we have 1 terabyte or maybe more, but I have a 1 terabyte hard disk in my machine. Uh, uh, but initially it might not have been so, right? Maybe 10 years back, 1 TB hard disk was not there. Maybe 1 GB was there. So like that, slowly the capacities of storage increase. So hard disk is one such example. Then you had, along with hard disk, you had floppy disk. Along with hard disk, you had floppy disks. You have CDs. CDs you might have seen, but you might not have seen floppies also. Is it not? So all these storages, these are all external storage devices. These are secondary storage devices. These are peripheral devices. Now, along with them, you also have plotters, optical and magnetic character readers, analog to digital converters. So all these devices, whether it is keyboard, whether it is monitors, whether it is printers, whether it is magnetic tapes, whether it is magnetic discs, hard disks, CDs, floppies, plotters, card readers, all these come under what? All these come under input output device. They come under what? They come under the input output devices. As well, they come under what? Peripheral devices. These are the input output devices. These are the peripheral devices. Let us try to look at each one of them. We were mentioning video monitors. Say, for example, we are pretty sure about how LCD or LED is. We have seen it, but for our generation, CRT cathode ray tubes. Even our initial TVs, our TVs also had cathode ray tube guns. Is it not? Similarly, your monitors also had cathode ray tube. I just have a 1 or 2 minutes video which I'd like to play for you. Just be patient. Is it visible on the screen? The video is visible on the screen? Somebody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And what I am trying to show you, I am trying to show you, look at this CRT.
What happens once the beams have swept your monitor? Special chemical phosphors are painted on the inside of the monitor. Energy from the electron beams makes the individual phosphors glow either red, blue, or green, depending on the type of phosphor. The stronger the electron beam, the brighter the phosphorus glow. A sheet of metal with holes in it helps keep the electron beams aligned exactly with the phosphors. This is called a shadow mask. The beams sweep across the entire screen 60 times per second. It happens so quickly that you're unaware of the firing process. Instead, your screen appears to be a steady continuous image, just as it does now.
So this was what I was trying to show you. The using, sorry, give me a minute. Yeah. So this was what I was trying to show you, the cathode ray tube video monitors. Let us compare that from our syllabus book also, if it is mentioned. Yeah, as you can see here, video monitors are mentioned in our syllabus book. And one of the types of video monitors screens are cathode ray tube. And the cathode ray tube, as you can see, has an electronic gun which sends an electronic beam on a phosphorescent screen. I'm just reading out whatever you had seen on the YouTube video also. So there is a beam. That beam can be deflected horizontally, vertically. There will be a pattern to be generated on the screen. A grid is used, and that grid will be receiving variable voltages. So that will cause the beam to hit the screen, and it will be glowing the selected spots. All that selected spot you had seen, they'll be glowing with red, green, or blue. Is it not? So this was what we were speaking about the CRT monitors. The next thing about the monitors is that they are either single character mode or they are block character mode. So let us look at that also. Although I mentioned that, just give me a minute. I am just checking where it is. Yeah. See, if your monitor is single character mode or your terminal is single display device is single character mode, then all the characters will be entered on the screen through the keyboard, and they are simultaneously shown on the screen. If it is the block mode, then the text is first stored in a local memory inside a terminal. Then the text is transferred to the computer. So I already told you this. I just want to confirm this with your syllabus content. And this is your syllabus book, Maurice Mono's book, Computer System Architecture PDF, which is also there in your Google Classroom. Let us look at the printers now. As I was telling you, you might not have seen dot matrix printers, you might not have seen daisy wheel printers, but you are pretty well, you have used printers, whether it is a laser printer, it may be at your house, or you might have gone to a Xerox center where you have taken printouts, kind of thing. So this video has all the basically printers which I mentioned, whether it is daisy wheel or whether it is dot matrix or maybe laser, maybe inkjet. Let us see. As you can see, all these are coming under daisy wheel and dot matrix impact printers. And the inkjet and the laser and the plotters, they are coming under the category non-impact. I'm just showing you the video so that you will be able to connect, because I am 90% sure that you have not seen these old printers like dot matrix or daisy wheel printer. So let us check it. This is your dot matrix. So as you can see here, it has a lot of dots. Those dots will form a pattern. The next one is this daisy wheel. Observe. Here there is a wheel. It is moving. And at its tip or the circumference, you have characters. So this is what is daisy wheel, and wheel is there. Then you have a line printer, which is not still there. And this bigger plotter printer you might have seen at many places. Like people nowadays, political purpose, birthdays and all that, they are printing these big ones. No? What you call them? Plates. So any interesting observation regarding daisy wheel? Why the name might have come daisy wheel? Somebody wants to answer? Daisy wheel printer, why the name daisy wheel printer might have come? So it's quite natural, right? You see a wheel, and on that wheel, at the circumference, there are characters embedded, and those characters will be printed upon the impact. Upon the impact. So that was what regarding the printers which we were mentioning. Uh, you had seen daisy wheel printer, dot matrix, laser, and along with that you had seen line printer as well as inkjet printer as well as the plotter, and you had categorized your printers into impact printers and non-impact printers from that YouTube video you had seen, right? Impact printers versus non-impact printers. And this daisy wheel and dot matrix come under what? They come under the impact printer. Laser printer come under what? It comes under the uh, non-impact one. So let us come back again to magnetic tapes. So I have a question to ask to all of you. Uh, you listen a lot of music, right? All of you listen a lot of music. For listening music, which device you are using nowadays? Somebody tell me, if you want to listen music, which device you use? Anybody, please? Which device you use for listening music? Lakshmi?
Sir, earphones or headphones?
Yeah, earphones or headphones you use. Okay. There is a in some device.
Speakers.
Yeah, yeah. What you said?
Speakers, sir.
Yeah, fantastic. Speakers also. Uh, there is some device by Apple, na? I forgot the name of the device for music listening. Something called I. What is that? Okay, why I was trying to highlight that because do you know? Have you seen your parents listening to music on some other device? Okay, my question will be put with the help of a video again. I'm asking, have you seen this kind of device? Have you seen this device?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I thought you are not seen. But so we used to listen music on this tape, and our parents used to listen music on this device. But maybe because of karma, you know it now. These are the old radios which we. But now you either use cloud-based music, some app, or some Apple device. Is it not? Why I'm telling you this because the way technology has changed. Similarly, the technology for storage of data also changed. Similarly, the technology for storage of data also changed. You had magnetic tapes, then you had floppy disks, then you have. So even same thing. My question to you will be again with the help of the video. If I ask you, have you seen the hard disk? You will tell me immediately yes. Is it not? This is your hard disk. Okay. I'll try to show you with the help of an image also. As you can see here, Seagate, 1 terabyte, and some other companies, Toshiba. So these are all the hard disks which you have seen. But if I ask you, have you seen the CD-ROMs? And also you'll say yes. One minute. Yeah, have you seen these CDs? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But if I ask you, have you seen floppy? What will be your answer? Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Yes or no? Okay. Maybe few of you might have seen, but I know that maximum of you have not seen it. But when we were students like you, we used to use floppies for storing our data. Now you use pen drives, right? Flash drives or pen drives or cloud. But we used to use those floppy drives to store our data. That's how technology changed. So similarly, this magnetic tape also or magnetic disk also fall under the same category. These are all storage devices, whether it is magnetic tape or whether it is magnetic disk. These are all storage devices. So let us see what is a magnetic tape. We know that magnetic tape is an auxiliary memory device. It's a storage device. It's a secondary storage device. It's a peripheral device, and this stores data in a sequential fashion. But while the magnetic disk stores data not in a sequential fashion but a random fashion. So it is cheapest, slowest, and it is a legacy one. So let us again try to look at this video for uh, just trying to devise magnetic tapes. This is magnetic tape, by the way. Look at it very carefully. This is our tape device. Here, this is put. Magnetic tape is put here. Look at this loading. I just wanted to give you the feel of this magnetic tape device. Hope you got it. And similarly, for magnetic disk, you pretty well know what is a magnetic disk. Basically, that is your one of the example is this. I just want to show you for a few seconds. These are the two hard disks. Just again, it was just to give you a feel of what a magnetic tape and disk is all about. Then you have plotters, character readers, analog to digital converters. All these we are discussing under the topic of Unit 2. Unit 2 consists of input-output devices, input-output organization, I/O interface. So we mentioned keyboard, video monitors, printers, magnetic tapes, magnetic disks. So we also know the significance of the ASCII characters, is it not? What are ASCII characters? ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. I know that when I press a key on the keyboard, that key is actually ASCII coded. That key is actually ASCII coded. Okay. So, and ASCII coded characters, there are around 128 characters. Out of them, 94 are printed characters and 34 are non-printing characters. What is the meaning of printed characters? Printed characters means whatever you see on the keyboard. Okay. What you see on the keyboard, ABCD you see on the keyboard, 1 2 3 4 you see on the keyboard. Some special characters like percentage, @ hash, exclamatory marks you see on the keyboards. So all those can be part of that. All those can be part of that. Then you also have some non-printing characters also. So basically an ASCII code is a 7-bit code, but we know the way computers work. The computers operate using bytes, is it not? And 1 byte consists of 8 bits. So there is 1 extra bit, right? There is 1 extra bit. That 1 extra bit may be used for some special purposes to indicate the status, for masking, maybe for some other purpose. This is the table of ASCII which is very popular. I request you to just focus on character A. So, and I want to ask you by looking at this table, somebody please answer me, what is the ASCII code for character A? Please tell me. Who will tell me? You're seeing here A. This is the table for ASCII code. This is the table for ASCII code. Say for example, if I ask you what is the ASCII code for A, you will tell me that it is 1000001. So how many bits? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 bits. Okay, MSB is B7, LSB is B1. That you pretty well know. Okay, row and column fashion, rather column and row fashion. So, and as you can see here, how many characters are there here? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Capital means uppercase letter, then A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, small case letter, then numbers 1 2 3 4, then these special characters and so on. If I ask you how many are there, count them, you fastly tell me how many are there by looking at this. Any answer? Okay, have you counted? Okay, let us count together. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17. Is it not? So if you count this, it will match this. Okay, it will match this 94 characters and 34 characters. And you have this non-printable characters also. And for example, start of text, STX, they are written in short form here, is it not? So this is your ASCII table. This is basically your ASCII table. And these are also called as the control characters. So with this, we'll stop discussion of the topic today. So we'll finish off with taking the attendance and just tell everybody that the classes have been started and we can join from next session onwards. Okay. So give me some time. Let me organize myself to take the attendance. So starting from 61, then it goes up to 120, then starting from 307. Okay. 61, 62, 63,
Present, sir.
64,
Present, sir.
65,
Present, sir.
66,
Present, sir.
67, 68, 69, 70, 71,
Present, sir.
72, 73,
Present, sir.
74,
Present, sir.
75, 76,
Present, sir.
77,
Present, sir.
78,
Present, sir.
79,
Present, sir.
80,
Sir.
81, 82,
Present, sir.
83, 84,
Present, sir.
84,
Present, sir.
85, 86,
Present, sir.
87, 88,
Present, sir.
89,
Present, sir.
90,
Present, sir.
91, 92, 93,
Present, sir.
94, 95,
Present, sir.
96,
Present, sir.
97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102,
Present, sir.
103, 104, 105, 106,
Present, sir.
107,
Present, sir.
108, 109,
Present, sir.
110, 110, 110 is not responding, 111,
Present, sir.
112, 113, 114,
Present, sir.
115, 116,
Present, sir.
117, 118,
Present, sir.
119,
Present, sir.
120, 307,
Present, sir.
308,
Present, sir.
309,
Sir, 120 is present, sir.
okay, 310,
Present, sir.
311, 312.
Present, sir.
Okay, so this is it. We'll try to revive our things and ensure everybody has registered for that edu skill and try to make the best of it. Second thing is after every module there will be a one unit test. There will be one unit test. So when you want unit test, as in that will be a MCQ based test. That will be a MCQ based test. Uh, when you want that exam, MCQ based test. Okay, CR is present in the class. Okay, you decide and tell. Okay, I think I'll stop here today. See you. Good day.